ChessDiagnostic.
Hello everybody and welcome to ChessDiagnostic. Today I'm making a video called Follow Chess History to Learn Chess Openings. And the reason for that is because I've been getting some questions or comments asking for more opening content, and I will in the future, but I just want to make a video that gives some ideas as well as emphasizes that, of course, if you're advanced, you should be learning some opening lines, but if you're intermediate, it's really not that important. Basic tactics, strategical principles, and ideas are much more important to your strength than learning a specific line. But if you do want to start learning lines, you can just combine it with this idea. Now, the idea is that you go all the way back in history to the 1600s, for example, and you follow the development of chess theory through the ages. And that's actually the idea of Kasparov's book, My Great Predecessors. He starts from the beginning of the world champions all the way to present day and analyzes how that chess theory developed. So I'm going all the way back to the 1620 when the famous player Greco played a lot of the classic openings that you'll see in the 1800s or the 1900s even, when Paul Morphy was playing, and it was the Romantic era. A lot of those openings were, I don't know if they were invented, but they were recorded by Greco. Now this game is the Italian game, Two Knights Defense, and for example, if we're learning the fried liver attack, you could study this game. Now you could memorize these moves because this is the line, but more importantly, you'll learn the underlying idea as well as basic tactics that underpin this line. So it starts with e4, and we're white here, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6. So we could go into the Ruy Lopez with bishop to b5, which is a line that you should learn, as well as bishop to c4, the Gioachino. And so we see that, and now after the two knights, there's the line of knight to g5. Of course, threatening that f7 pawn. And after black plays d5, closing off that diagonal, the attack on f7, after the pawn takes and the knight takes, we get the sacrifice, knight takes f7. And after the king takes and we check with queen to f3, the king has to move forward and protect that knight, otherwise he just lost a pawn. So of course it looks like white is a piece down, but his attack is pretty strong because the king is in the center, pretty weak, and these two pieces are hard to develop, and white has pretty easy development and attacking chances in the center. So you're not just learning the line, you're learning the ideas behind what the line accomplishes. Now this accomplishes two things for you. Since you're learning the themes, you can apply it to any opening or position that's related, as well as learning, of course, the lines that you can memorize and play quicker, for example, in a blitz game. So we know that this bishop is pinned to the king now, and so Greco decides to increase the pressure on it with knight to c3. The knight has to move back, and we know from our strategic understanding that a move back is bad, especially when defending, because it reduces his activity as well as giving you more attacking chances. So this knight back is simply a bad move, but it's a necessary move because this d5 knight was attacked. Now these two bishops and these two rooks are completely inactive, as well as this queen. So even though white is theoretically a piece down, he's actually winning at this point because of his overall activity. Now see that even though you're learning a line, you want to know first the strategic ideas so that you can correctly evaluate positions. So white castles. Of course, when you analyze these games, you'll see ideas like d4 was a little stronger, just opening the position immediately. But of course, castles makes logical sense because he wants to get his rooks and other pieces in play quick. So even though the computer recommends a line, sometimes it's best to play what makes logical sense to you. Another important idea. Now the rook is threatening to take that pawn, or other ideas like d4. There's just a lot of attacking chances at this moment for white. Gradually increasing the pressure, and black really has nothing to do with sad moves like this bishop going nowhere. There isn't really too many other options for black, and now with d4, he's getting in a lot of trouble. The rook takes, and king to c7 would have been best, simply giving a pawn back and trying to protect his king, but he makes a mistake with knight to g6. Now, if you want to pause the video for a moment and try to solve this position here, there's multiple options to take on that d5 square with the bishop, the knight, or the rook, so you'll use this chance when studying this game to practice your calculation. And you can see that the knight is threatening the rook, but we can take actually with the knight here, and as happens in the game, knight takes rook, we take with check, and now actually we've won 2 pieces for a rook and have chased the black king into a very dangerous position. All of black's pieces are inactive, and there's really nothing he can do to prevent a mate. There's actually a mate in 2 if you want to pause the video and try to solve it for white. So Greco misses the quickest way to mate, which is actually b4 takes, and then queen to d3 checkmate. A very beautiful mate, but he just goes for what he understands and plays queen to a3 check, king takes, queen to d3, and now we have b4 checkmate. Now at the amateur level, you'll see a lot of games like this following kind of dubious lines, but they're very effective as well as tactical, giving you lots of practice to learn a line and to practice your calculation and motif understanding as well. So I hope this video has been helpful. I plan to make some more opening content in the future, but it's not really the biggest priority. So if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the future. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for future videos. See you in the future.